Okay, good evening everyone. My name's Dave and I've just taken delivery of, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Lulzbot TZ5. I'm not normally in the habit of doing out of the box videos, normally because most stuff turns up not really worth videoing. However, in this particular case I thought I'd make an exception because I was so impressed with the way that this piece of equipment was packaged. I know it's not cheap, but I've had stuff before that's not cheap and it's been sort of thrown in a box with a bunch of bubble wrap, whereas this is the other end of the spectrum. So I'm going to attempt. It's quite a big box, and I can't zoom much more out on the camera. So as you know, the box is, as you say, fairly big. So anyway, I'll do the best I can. So very nice box. Well, it's a box, nicely clearly labelled top, so you don't end up opening the bottom. Okay, hang on. You have to bear with me. I'm hand holding the camera for the minute. Order form, won't look at that because it's got some big numbers on it, which is slightly upsetting. So it's all foam, nice, good quality, high impact foam packaging. So this is the top sheet. Take that off. Okay, first thing you're confronted with is more foam. You can see it's all been nicely cut to fit the box. It's not just thrown in. It's all this foam packaging has been custom cut for this particular unit. Yeah, for the TAZ5. So the first thing you get on the top here is a quick start guide. This is clearly no disrespect to Chinese products, but I've had quite a few Chinese products where you just get a few sheets of A4 badly written and stapled together. This is not that. This is extremely professionally produced. Nice glossy brochure, nice pictures, step-by-step guide of how to take all of this out of the box, which I must point out at the moment I haven't actually read because I literally just opened the box. So yeah, very impressed with this. I've never had a piece of equipment of this type. You know, this is an open source 3D printer, and you know this sort of quality of documentation is, well, in my experience, extremely unusual. In fact, you couldn't really better it, really. So yeah, so you've got a quick guide which tells you how to unpack it, all the component parts, blah blah blah. Nicely, you know, nice step-by-step guide. And then how to create your own print, which is this octopus type thing, which has been, well, I'll go into that in a minute, but this basically then goes through the step-by-step guide of how to do your first print, which is always nice. Yeah, really looks really good. I mean, obviously I haven't tried it yet, but it looks pretty good. Bit of advertising on the back there for the filament. So let's have a look what's we got in the box here. Hang on, excuse me. We're gonna kneel on something other than this hard floor. Right. So right, the first thing you've got is some cutouts. Box in the middle, cut out to the right, cut out to the left. So that if we take so I say it's really nicely packaged. And there's the extruder sort of head, if you like, which is, you know, very securely positioned in its little housing there. And then on the right hand side is a very professional looking power supply. So switch mode, I think it's 400 watts from memory. Switch mode power supply. The other thing I'm quite impressed with, you know, I do quite a lot of electronics, and that's the industry I'm in. So these connectors are very good, really good quality connectors. I mean, they're really nice with, you know, lockable. That's something really nice for the power supply. Then in the middle, sorry about the handheld nature of this, I can't think of any other way of doing it. So what have we got here? So we got a standard sort of safety and warnings, burn, electric shock type hazard, health and safety type blurb. Okay, Lots of connectors. So we've got power connectors here. They don't mess about. So we've got a power connector here with, I'm not sure what that is. Is that American? Possibly. Might be American. No, they got a 3-pin. I don't know where that's from. That's European. So we've got a European lead. So they've supplied 3 separate leads here. Rather than an adapter, we've got 3 separate power cables. A European, and then for my neck of the woods, being based in the UK, the clearly far more substantial and better designed UK 3-pin plug. USB cable. Here we are. Now this, I like this. I mean, this is kind of cool. This little item here is the little octopus supplied in the box. But the point is not just a little trinket. This octopus was actually printed on this unit. In fact, if you look at the bed in a minute, you can see a faint outline where it was printed. So this was actually printed on this unit. So that gives you therefore some idea of what you should expect. And I mean, I don't know. This is my first 3D printer, so I'm a little bit green. But that to me looks like an extremely good print. You can't really see it in this camera, I wouldn't have thought, but it's very clean, very smooth. No filaments or bits sticking out. If I can get to that sort of quality, I'll be really chuffed. Micro SD supplied with a don't know, I think it's 4 gig from memory. Then you got your guide for your filament. It looks like they've supplied a little bit of filament here. I suspect, I'm guessing this little bit of filament here is so that you can actually print your little octopus without having to buy. It doesn't come with filament as in bulk filament, which makes sense. I mean, because why would they supply it with filament? Everybody's going to want different types of filament, different colours, different materials. It makes no sense. But they've supplied with a couple of feet of filament here, which is presumably enough to just print this this little jobber, I'm guessing. Other thing here, we've got little sticker, some cable ties. Don't forget anything, did they? Some cable ties, because obviously this has got to be, this unit's sort of got to be assembled. Now here's the manual. Now this is well, pretty awesome, I think. I've never seen a manual like this. Printed manual. Get this, printed manual, not a disc with some PDF on it. A really nice quality, proper printed manual. I haven't seen one of those for years. Normally they just throw a disc in and it's got a PDF on it, and then you've got to have a computer, and then you've got to sort of look at the equipment you're using and try and look at the computer screen at the same time. Call me old school, but I like a manual, and that is a proper manual. That's really good, really good. Top marks for that. Okay, hang on, let me just sling all this back in the box. I say this is not cheap equipment, but then it's not ridiculously expensive either. So you know, hang on a minute. Do that in a minute. That's pretty good. Right, I'm going to attempt to take this bit off without. Sorry about it's really awkward to do this and hold the camera. Right. So there we go. Now we're talking beast here. I'll probably cut this video and then do another one when I've pulled it all out. I don't. You know, looking at it is not rocket science to see how this comes out. It is essentially in 2 pieces. You've got the main frame here. It's the main frame. Which is extremely robust. It's all metal, really nicely. Really, look. I mean, on the face of it, just a quick glance over, it looks really nice. And then there's the bed and the what would be wide travel, presumably. So the heated bed, and this section lifts out, and then you'd rotate that round, and then it mounts into the base here. So it's effectively built in, but other than the fact it's in 2 pieces that you assemble and then plug it all together. Now here's another thing which is really nice. These boys in Canada, they know what they're doing, don't they? in terms of pushing the right buttons when it comes to equipment. You get a really nice toolkit. I know I've seen this on video before, so it's nothing, you know, people have shown this before. Can't open it with one hand, but you know. So we got a really nice pair of pliers, a separation tool, like I suppose it's a 3D equivalent of a fish slice for getting your work off the bed. That's really nice. Sorry about that. In the other section, we've got a pretty full-on set of Allen keys, tweezers and a little brush, a little modelling scalpel, number 1 knife. Oh, that's cool. A little 6-inch steel rule, nicely done. And I'm not sure what that is. It's a tool with some sort of protection on the end. I'll have to have a look what that is in a minute, but some other tool. In a little, well, tool equivalent of a wash bag. That's really good. So I'm really impressed with that. I mean, I say I don't do out-of-box stuff, and this is pretty. You know, this is not exactly comprehensive. But when I had a quick glance in, I thought it was so nicely packaged and well thought out. It had to be worth a short 10-minute video. So anyway, I'll get it all out and sort of start putting it together, and then I'll come back. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers. Okay, everyone. Right, I managed to get the unit out of its packaging, which was very simple, and you know, just follow the basic instructions. It's not rocket science. Don't force anything, obviously, but it all comes out really nice. Nice unit. I hope you can got a nice name tag here. I just wanted to quickly show that this is the frame. Here is the bed, which I've not fitted yet. But just a couple of little minor points, which well, rather important to me because it shows that they've actually thought about it. You've got some little foam block here, which has been fitted to prevent this thing from banging around in transit. It's just a little block that just comes out. But little things. I mean, it's just, you know, nicely designed. Stuff that they've really thought about. For example, they've on either side, you've got 1, 2, and then 2 more over there. Little. I mean, it's only minor, but it's kind of like makes all the difference, doesn't it? As opposed to it not being smashed to bits when it arrives. Little locking plates, little locking units, which just hold everything in place. And in the manual, you just basically undo the thumb wheel and take them out. So maybe not important to some people, but shows a thought, you know, a design thought process which is often absent in a lot of equipment. If I could get the word out, you can see that this whole thing has obviously been 3D printed. So all of this is 3D print, not surprisingly. Here's the little LCD panel. Got a little, and presumably a slot in the side for the SD. Anyway, I won't witter on anymore. I'll start putting it together once I've taken off all the little packagey bits. Anyway, cheers. Okay, guys and gals. Right, I've got it all sort of set up. Lighting isn't great here, unfortunately. It's in the corner of my workshop, and yeah, the light's good where I'm stood, but not good where the printer is. Anyway, really easy to set up. Everything went together really simple. No problems at all. Instructions are, as I said, you know, excellent. Can't fault the instructions. Plugged it all in, installed Cura, all powered up. You can't see the display particularly well on this camera, but it doesn't look great on the camera, but believe me, it's very bright. I'm stood 4 or 5 feet away from it, and I can read it. My eyes are shot. So yeah, all good. So I've got it plugged into the USB into the PC. Yeah, all powered up. So if I'm just going to do what they basically told me to do, which was to hit the various home buttons. Now, what you've got to do first is hit the X home. Here we go. So that, right, and that was good. And then hit the Y home. Perfect. Now the only thing you've got to, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. Yeah, you should be able to see this. There's a little thumb screw kind of over here, and you've got a this basically makes contact with this little micro switch under here, which is the Z home. When it ships, this was in my case was screwed right down, and as it says in the instruction manual, you've got to unscrew this to leave about a 1 centimeter gap here, so that when this head comes down, it mates with this micro switch and doesn't drive the head into the table. So yeah, I've raised that about 10 mil, and now once you've raised it, you hit the Z home. Off it goes. It's approaching the micro switch. Perfect. So that leaves me with about, I'd say, gap of about 3 millimeters. So right, I'll get on to the next stage, and then I'll come back. Cheers. Okay, guys and gals, well, I'm doing the print calibration test print. I've set it up, leveled the bed, set the Z-axis distance. Really pretty straightforward, really. I mean, there wasn't any major issue. Went round the bed about 2-3 times with a sheet of paper until I got it level. Bit fiddly, but it's only because I couldn't get the Allen keys to fit in. It was just me being fiddly, but it's dead easy. And then it seems to be working quite well. As I say, this is my first 3D printer, so I don't really know. But it seems to be sticking. It's not pulling away. I can see. So this is using HIPS, so the extruder temperature is at 240, bed at 110, same as ABS. Not quite sure what it's doing, but it's doing some sort of crazy printing type thing. So this is, the bed calibration file downloaded. Apparently it's on the SD card, but I just downloaded it from the website. Yeah, it's doing its thing. So I reckon I've probably been about 20 minutes, I suppose, from taking it out of the box to getting this far. It all works really well. It's really cool, actually. Well, really hot, depending on which way you look at it. See if I can zoom in a bit on that. I'm not sure if they're talking about bed adhesion and all this business. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but it seems to be sticking. It's certainly not pulling it off. The tiny little gap between the head and the bed. My biggest problem has not been the machine, it's my eyesight. Can't see a damn thing. Yeah, the instructions and everything are really clear. My biggest problem has just been able to see what I was doing. A little fiddly in places, but none of it's hard. Notice the fans aren't running at the moment. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be, but I don't know how long this goes on for, this test file. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute when it's finished. Okay, hi there. Well, I printed the test print, as they call it, the Roctopus or whatever. This is being printed in grey HIPS. HIPS, yeah. Seems to be going quite well. Well, it's printing it anyway. How it will finally turn out, I'm not too sure. It looks okay. So we'll see what it turns out like when it's finished. Nothing obviously going madly wrong at the moment. He's printing it quite quickly. Not sure what. I literally just followed the instructions and pressed play. So I haven't fiddled with any settings or anything like that. Just did what it told me. So we'll see what happens when it comes out. Okay. This is how we're getting on with the real Rocktopus. Seems to be going quite well. This is a standard print. So I've not gone for sort of high detail because it's now 11:30 and I didn't think I had enough time. I just wanted to make sure that it was doing the basics. Seems to be working really well. Literally out of the box. 20 minutes worth of instructions. Put it together. It really said chucked it together. I didn't chuck it together. I put it together. And bit of basic bed leveling, no fiddling about with no settings or messing around with anything, just uploaded the standard file from the website and press play, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. I mean, considering this is a first print and I've not twiddled with anything, and it's also printing just the standard resolution, so it's quite fast. I think it's about 40 minutes to do the whole print. Doing a pretty good job. Well, better than I expected. It's a bit difficult to see on a video camera. Come on. But it looks quite nice. It's not as good as the one that was in the box, but that's printed in a different material, and I'm not sure what settings they had that printed on. Maybe they had that on a high resolution setting. Not sure. I'll have to do some experimentation, but I would say, considering the fact I have no experience with 3D printers, and this is printing pretty much out of the box with a little bit of setting up, just obvious stuff like bed leveling and making sure the nozzle's the right height, the extruder's the right height rather. I've not had to do anything else at all. Just loaded the model, turned on the extruder temperature, or it brought the extruder up to temperature, the bed up to temperature, and then literally loaded the model and pressed print, and off it went. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. I'm sure once I've had some time to play with the settings a little bit and maybe just refine the bed leveling. I think maybe the extruder was a touch too close to the bed when I started. That was the trickiest bit, was just to get the extruder height right. I'm not quite sure exactly how far the extruder is supposed to be off the bed before it starts. I did the test print and it looked pretty good. From what I can make out, the first few layers are the most critical. Although it seems to be, it sticks to the bed fine, and when I took the test prints off the bed with the knives that they supplied, it comes off really easily. You just chick away on one corner and then just peel the whole thing off. I've not tried to extract this model from the bed, so I'm going to let it finish, and then I'm going to let the bed cool down to about 40 or 50 degrees, and then attempt to get the model off the bed and see what happens. So far so good.